Hello, everybody. Welcome TJKshares, one-on-one with TJK. Today, we are privileged and blessed to have a beauty from Uganda. There is a saying that beauty meets the beast. I'll be the beast. We have Miss Uganda 2023-2024. She's the beauty. She's not just a beautiful woman. She is also a woman who is determined to change this world through education. Through her reign, she has goals she wants to accomplish. And I personally was really privileged to see her join Nyaka when we walked against gender-based violence on July 2023 this year. Welcome, Hannah. Please tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hello, everyone. I'm so delighted to be here, to be hosted by you. My name is Karema Tumukunde, the reigning Miss Uganda. And on the 22nd of July, I was among the Nyaka walk that was in Mukonjiri district, right? 21. Yes. Yeah, 21 of July in Mukonjiri.
We were so happy to have you. You came with a friend. And today we are also privileged to have Janet with us, who is the project director for Miss Uganda Foundation. Janet will be watching and listening, but we are privileged that she's here. And at some point, we'll ask her a little bit about what Miss Uganda Foundation is up to. You joined the walk. You came with friends. You wore the T-shirt. You danced. You jumped, you met grandmothers, you helped children who were among the ones who are working and we support, and you did a fashion show during that day. There was soccer, there was band, there were speakers. Tell us a little bit about your personal experience that day and how it felt to be present among the people you are serving and representing.
We came so many people, but I'm going to speak on a personal level.
Yes, please.
To me as a person, I enjoyed every bit of the event. I enjoyed walking. I enjoyed dancing with those mothers. Because in the first place, when I was contesting, I wanted to serve my country. I wanted to serve the people. And it felt like that was what I was doing at that moment, me walking with the girls that had presented and worked on that. That is fashion, and that is a good thing, believing in talent development, and that is what exactly you guys of Nyaka were doing. It was a happy moment for me. I learned a lot from that. It was so inspiring to see that it's not only us who are striving to do something, but there's so many other people like Nyaka Foundation that was trying so much to see that people who are differently abled or people who do not have parents can do something, can learn and also thrive into being important people in the world. For me, it was just amazing. I had a lot of fun doing lots of activities with those people.
Very good. And we had a lot of fun showing you to the young children in Nyaka Primary School, to the secondary school students who were working with you. You inspired so many, and in a way also some now can see, I can contest to become a Miss Uganda. I can also do more things in this world. Tell us a little bit about how you grew up, your parents, your siblings. How was that like as a baby?
Growing up for me, I am from a village. I'm a village girl. Anyway, I just came to town of recent. I'm from a family of 7 girls and 2 boys. We were raised by our father. We lost our mother at a very young age. And where I come from, they practice a lot of early child marriages. Girls get married at really a very, very young age, at 15, at 14, at 13, not because they don't love their daughters, but simply because of their belief. They believe a girl cannot do anything, maybe. And also culture is, I couldn't say it's a problem because that's really their culture. Culture is so much into that. They believe a girl is supposed to grow. When they look like they're able to get married and cook, that is over for the girl. You go off and go. But I'm really so happy that I had a very supportive dad who fought against so many people because that was the culture, and everyone was like, your girls are old, they're supposed to be getting married. Sometimes you would refuse and they steal you from home. So that was like forced marriage. They would steal you, they bring you back when you're already pregnant, and now you have nothing to do apart from going and getting married. But my dad was really, he fought so hard that even when he heard about that, maybe they would steal us, maybe they would do this for us to, get married. He got an option of, getting us to schools that were from the village. So we came this side, we would study, go back like for 1 week, and then come back this side. So in that way, we managed to escape marriage. And me growing up, what was in my mind was, I wish one day I would grow up, become something, come back home and preach against early marriages, preach against forced marriages. I tell these people that at least a girl can be something, a girl can become anything that a boy can become. Because they feel like boys are like here and girls are here, which is not it. And me, when I finished my education, what was in my head was to get a platform where I would speak and my voice is heard. Maybe I change the narrative, maybe I change a little bit. Of course, you cannot change anything completely, but you can do something about it. So I got a chance of, contesting for Miss Uganda. I was like, let me go for this. I don't know what is coming out, but let me at least try and see where I can go.
Yes.
So I tried, and God brought good results. I became the queen. So it made me so happy that each time I go back to the village, I be like, you people, a girl cannot just get married and that is the end of the story. You can become something. And guess what? Some people have changed their mind. Some people are like, where did you study from? I want to take my child there. The same people who are telling my dad, let that girl get married. Now they're the people saying, I'm taking my daughter to that school. I believe that has changed somehow, and I'm happy about it.
So by your dad standing side by side with his daughters, 7 daughters, 2 boys, 9 children. You started by saying you grew up in the village. You are a village girl. I'm glad finally I get to interview somebody on this channel who claims the village. I am a village boy. The first book I wrote, Hannah, is called A School for My Village. Next time I'm in Uganda, I'll give you a copy. A School for My Village. Wrote another one, Victory for My Village. I am a village boy. Everything I have done is to go back and change how the village looks. So you've done already what you set out to do. And I'm so glad we got also connected through Reach a Hand, Humphrey Nabimanya, the CEO who I mentored from early child, young person in high school to now running this organization called Reach a Hand. And I wore this shirt just in honor of Reach a Hand and the work they do. And the work specifically in fighting early marriages and reproductive health for girls. So you grew up without a mother. I'm so sorry to hear that. But your dad made sure that he protected girls. And I'm re-emphasizing that point because many people who listen to this have this notion that all African men, all men on the continent of Africa, don't support girls' education. But we have Hannah's dad as an example, who fought so hard. And me, for me, they give me an excuse because you live in the United States, you have changed your mind. But my father educated my sisters and myself. My mom has died. She's not there anymore, but my parents fought for us to get education. So I'm so glad education is very important to you. In your family, you have 7 girls, 2 boys. Where do you fall? Are you the youngest? Are you in the middle? Where are you?
I'm actually the last born.
How? Just like me again. Look at you.
We should be siblings then.
Last born village people in education. You are the last born. So can you say something a little bit about your older sisters and your older brothers? Where are they? How do they support you? And how were they excited when you became Miss Uganda?
Okay, now when it comes to growing up, let me take you back a little bit. Later, when I started school, I think I was like in primary 4 4 or 5, I got a new mother, who is now my mother. So I was studying in the village. By that time, I would walk to school, go back home. And then when I reached P7, my dad transferred me to town.
Town being
So I started. No, in Luwero.
Luwero, okay.
Yes. So I would go back home after the term, but then it became hard. It became hard studying and then going back. It was so far. So this is where my elder sisters come in.
Yes.
From Luwero, I went to Kampala. So Kampala, I had already older sisters who were already at campus. So this is where they came in. I reached a time and I got tired of coming this side and then going back to the village. So one of my big sisters was like, you know what, let Hannah come and stay with me. She was at campus in hostel. So I started staying in hostel when I was still in high school. I come to school. When holidays come, I go to my sister's hostel and stay there for holidays. And then after I go back home. So I go back to school. So I think my sisters really played a very big role in that, because to my dad, he had now gotten other kids to take care of. Since I had gotten a new mother, so he had other young kids that he would take care of. So I became my sister's responsibilities.
Yes.
My sisters would take me to school, take me shopping, bring me back to hostel, which was our new home in town, because everyone was from the village, no one had a home. So slowly, after school, they started working, others got homes. So I became a child of Kampala now. I would not go back to the village. That's one of the biggest ways how I actually escaped marriage, because they would never see me. They actually forgot about me even. So I would study, go to my sister's place like that, up to when I finished. So my sisters have really been so supportive in everything. My brothers are not in the country. For them, they studied, finished, and going to work abroad. But all my sisters are here. So it has always been my sisters doing the most for me.
So your sisters, the next question or conversation I was going to have with you is, who were your role models growing up? But now you've answered it already. When you say you got a new mother, you mean your dad remarried?
Yes.
And now he has more children. So in total, the children, the 9 plus the ones your dad have, do you know the number now?
We are 15. 15? Wait.
Yes, you're a whole football.
Yeah.
Now the team and some reserves.
Yeah, and now I also get to be the big sister.
Exactly.
To my young siblings.
You were basically mentored, molded, guided by your sisters and your brothers. And now your dad has remarried, has more children, you have a new mother, and you get to be a big sister. Now a big sister who also has an international platform as Miss Uganda. So we are going to get now a little bit more into Miss Uganda. As the reigning Miss Uganda, what are you most excited about when it comes to your new responsibilities and opportunities open for you?
Just like I told you from the beginning, for me, it has always been, being able to speak and people listen to what I'm saying, and also serving. I've always been excited to serve my people, to, speak about something that people are going to, listen and have a change of mind about it. So me, I've always been excited about serving my people. We've been doing lots of activities with Miss Uganda. We've been doing a lot of charity. We've gone to my village lots of time to do charity, to speak to the students, those who would feel like maybe they're tired of school or they do not have a future, because there be so many. Those who think, I'm going to study and reach at this point, but I don't know what I'm going to be. So I feel like sometimes you need to go and speak to those children, and where necessary, you be relatable. You be like, I at one point like you, maybe I did not have what to do, but I didn't give up on myself. I tried until I reached where I am today. And by the time you leave, you realize that everyone now wants to, be like you. They want to study. Someone who didn't want to even finish, they want to continue. So me, I'm always excited about serving, also about traveling and doing lots of things, visiting my country. So far, I think we've gone in every part of Uganda. With Miss Uganda, we've gone to Western. Okay, we've not gone to North, but we've gone to most of the parts. And it really feels good to know your country very well. I feel like I'm getting to know people's culture. I'm getting to know how people, move in their life, what they do. And I think that's amazing for me because I'm learning so much at a very young age. And I'm so grateful.
So you have an opportunity to speak against early marriages. You have opportunities to speak and encourage parents to educate their children so they can get opportunities like you got. Not everyone is going to become Miss Uganda. The message is clear. You've said it many, many times. The reason I wanted you to come on this channel is so you can have a bigger platform to also expand beyond Uganda to all the people who listen and come to you. And as a historical record, it will be here. Your children will come back and one day and listen to your interview. Now, what other platforms do you use apart from traveling to Karamoja, travel to Rukunjiri, travel to Bukedia? What other platforms do you use to disperse the information you want to disperse? Are you on media channels? Are you use social media? What other channels are you engaging to get the message?
Any other platforms that I use are my social media handles. I don't have a YouTube channel yet.
Yes.
But I use my Instagram. We also use the Miss Uganda Foundation. The page of Miss Uganda Foundation.
TikTok.
Yeah. Basically, my social media platforms. And apart from YouTube, because I don't have a YouTube channel yet.
All right, very
good.
But
I want to one day.
How have your educational experience, your getting education, influenced the personal growth? When you think Hannah, if Hannah grew up in Ruwero and got an opportunity to come to Kampala without education, compare that with the Hannah who is educated and now is using the opportunities. This is to encourage young girls who say, I don't have to go to school, I can still do this. Tell us a little bit about how your education has helped you in this journey.
As far as of now, as we speak, I've not attained so much of education, but I would say I've learned so much for the small education that I've attained. It has given me confidence. It's not easy for a person who is not educated to go out there and speak to people. First of all, you don't know English. First of all, you've never spoken before. So how are you going to stand in front of people and start speaking? So for me, I'm so grateful for the small education that I've attained. It has helped me do this and reach this far, which implies that if I study more, I'm getting more knowledge and I'm getting more exposed to do even more and better things for myself and for my country and the world at large.
So what are your education aspirations? If you were to dream big, what would you like to study? Where would you like to study? That's when you can say Harvard University, where you attend, Dr. Kaguri.
I would want to go to Harvard University. Wouldn't want to go. I would want to go there. Okay. I love reading so much. I love, discovering a lot of new things. So I would term that as maybe I want to be a lawyer at some point.
Okay, there we go. So to all our lawyer friends, ladies and gentlemen, you have Miss Uganda here, lawyer friends in Uganda, in the entire continent of Africa and all over the world. Miss Uganda here, who is already at a young age, is advocating against early marriages, advocating for children education, boys and girls in rural areas. She wants to be a lawyer. Please drop your comments down and let's guide her to attain the dream of becoming a lawyer. Imagine if she's already now advocating and doing all this work. Imagine once she becomes a lawyer, what she will accomplish. So you want to go to Harvard Law School, the word will go there, but you can go
Yeah, and who knows, I could even study. I want to really study a lot of things, not only law. If I do law and I finish it, I would want to go for more other things. I don't want to, study and stop. I want to keep on discovering. Because learning doesn't stop.
Okay, then say a word about, say a word to encourage young people to read. Reading is very important, Hannah. You just said it. Libraries in Uganda are scarce. Nyaka has a community library in Kanungu, but we have so many books and the readers come, but they are not as many as we would like them to come. Encourage people to read, young people to read, and what reading has done for you. You've already said it, but say it again.
Okay. So for me, I know, at least I'm from school, I know one of the challenges that young people have is reading. But little do they know that the wisdom and all the knowledge they need is from reading a lot. To so many people that young ones out there admire are the people who keep on reading all the time. So you find someone like you out there, a young girl or a young boy, you want to search about someone, you'll be like, I really want to be like this person. You go and search and you keep on discovering new things from people. So put it in your mind, where do you think they get it from? Through reading. And if you want to become like that person, or that person inspires you a lot, it is through reading that you get all that you need. You will get the knowledge, the wisdom, and you learn new things that you don't even know. Because the wisdom and the knowledge is really in reading. So let's read. Even to those who do not want, you can make it your hobby. It is just easy. You start when you don't want, but you end up getting addicted and loving it more and more because you keep on discovering a lot of new things.
Very good. So listen to her. Please read. I always say reading is like traveling. Those who don't read are stuck in one area. If you are in Ruwero and you don't travel, you are always in Ruwero. If you don't read,
you will never reach Kampala.
Exactly. You will never reach Kampala. So through your mind, and the books will take you on the journeys. You can get to Kampala, you can get to Rukunji, you can get to Boston, you can get to Korea, Japan, all over the place. What are your other hobbies?
Yes. I love traveling. Just like you said, reading is like traveling. I love discovering new things. I want to know what people believe in, people that are not in the same area as me. I want to get to know people's culture, people's language. And I think to get to know that is through traveling to different places. I also love basketball. Oh, you have height for it. You play basketball? You play in high school? I try. I'm not so good. I'm not so perfect at it, but I love it. And I would want to, be perfect. But okay. I don't know. Maybe someday.
So when things are hectic and you are tired, you've been on the road to Rukunjiri, you've participated in a walk, everything is really tired. How do you decompress? How do you relax and make sure you don't get stressed and overworked?
Sometimes I love being alone when that comes in, when it hits. I love being alone, maybe listening to slow music, not so loud, slow, and having my alone time. That makes me calm down and I'm back to normal.
What do you think is the role of music in advocating for education and early marriages? We always bring musicians. We had Ike Bender at this event. We had Reggie at the other one in Chihi. We had Sister Charity. We've had Maurice Kidia. And I know music plays a huge role. Richard Hand uses icons, music icons. What has been your experience in music and the role it plays in changing people's mindsets and influencing young people?
For me, I think music is entertaining. Sometimes when you have a lot of problems and you're thinking about this and you listen to music, you will be excited. it makes you forget a lot of things, really. It makes you stop worrying. Okay, it makes you worry less about what you have to do and, enjoy a little bit more. Because you cannot, be that serious about books and you don't want to enjoy. Sometimes you need a little bit of enjoyment, and then you can go back when you're ready and hungry for something that you would want. And also sometimes music has the message. Sometimes I cannot be able to promote the message, but the song moves faster. Sometimes it could promote the message that me as a person I would not be able to promote. So for me, I think that's what music does.
So once upon a time, I won what they call Global Citizen Award.
Hi, Global Citizens. I'm here at the Global Citizen Impact Lab, where the winner of the Weislitz Global Citizen Award will be announced. This $100,000 award will be presented to an individual who best demonstrates global citizenship, impact, innovation, and potential.
So I can just say, actually the winner who's around the table is Jackson.
And
congratulations.
Thank you. The lead performer was Beyonce. And at that performance, I got to speak with Beyonce and Jay-Z. And
how did you feel? I'm sorry for interrupting.
I mean, these are superstars. And the reason I asked you the question, this morning on my run, I run and walk every day for exercise. I was listening to a podcast, a masterclass actually, that Jay-Z has put up. And he was talking about his journey as a young man, a young boy. He lost his father and he started getting really angry at everything. And his aunt bought him a notebook because he loved poetry. So basically, for him, he said his music journey has been that connection that he can express himself, what he wants to say, but also identify with those who don't sing or don't write, but have the same circumstances. That's why that question came from. These are superstars. I will make sure people who are watching this can go and Google Jay-Z's masterclass and read a little bit. Beyonce uses music also as advocacy to spread the music, and she's involved in an organization in Kenya for young girls. So Beyonce, please come to Uganda. Miss Uganda is waiting on you. You can partner with Miss Uganda Foundation and make a difference in the young people's lives. And she's a mother of twins. I have twin girls here. So she's a Nalongo, Jay-Z is a Salongo. So there is a lot of connection that can be helpful in our communities. But I don't want to get distracted from you and Miss Uganda Foundation. So music is important. We encourage people to use it, to advocate, and to use it as a tool of change, to change mindsets. I was so happy when Ike Bender got up to sing, and the grandmothers, these are women who have grown in the villages, were up singing with Ike Bender. When you were doing fashion moment, we have told our grandmothers, beauty is within you. You are beautiful. God created you beautiful. Doesn't matter your size, it doesn't matter your age, the shape of your hair. And for you to be there to reinforce that message, and the grandmothers getting up to dance with this icon, Ike Bender, is also a message we want to spread as far as we can. I'm talking too much. Miss Uganda 2023. Miss Uganda 2023-2024. How do you collaborate with past Miss Ugandans before? I know Miss Uganda Foundation bring you together. Each person has their own cause. Yours is education and fighting against early marriages. Do you know some of the other past winners, their causes? And Janet can come in now a little bit and talk about how do you bring all Miss Ugandans together under Miss Uganda Foundation to continue these causes, and how can we around the world help to make your causes move faster?
Okay, the most recent, the former Miss Uganda, who is Queen Elizabeth Bagaya, I think, was advocating for mental health. Queen Abenacho was advocating for teenage pregnancies. Then Queen Oliver Nakakande. There's so many, and each one of them have different advocacies.
Wonderful.
Yeah, and we meet once in a while. Even after crowning you as a new queen, you're now welcomed into the family of queens in the queendom. So they help you a lot.
Did you say
in things that
queendom?
Yeah, in the queendom. Because now me, I'm new. Sorry?
I'm learning a new word, queendom.
Yes, queendom.
All right. Wonderful. So let's welcome Janet, the project director for Miss Uganda Foundation. Welcome, Janet. Thank you for joining us. We know you are in a car. We appreciate you making time, even when you are busy, to share some of the nuggets, wisdom with the people who are listening to us, to learn more about Miss Uganda Foundation. Introduce yourself a little bit and tell us how you bring all these beauties and brains together to make a difference in the world.
Hi, Jackson. Thank you so much for the opportunity. And everybody who is watching today, this is one of the podcasts that are changing lives, and I'm glad to be part of it, even if it's for just a few minutes. As the Miss Uganda Foundation, we believe in community and we believe in the kindred spirit. My name is Janet Naluja, the project director for the Miss Uganda Foundation. Now, I'll say something about the Miss Uganda Foundation vis-a-vis the Miss Uganda pageant.
Yes.
Now, the Miss Uganda pageant happens every year, where we get to make a call and young women between the ages of 18 and 24 show up and they contest to become Miss Uganda. So the most recent one is Hannah, whom you have over here. I've been enjoying the conversation. She is Miss Uganda 2023-2024. Now, the moment she becomes Miss Uganda, she comes directly under my docket, under the Miss Uganda Foundation. Now, that's when we begin to touch lives, do partnerships, and change, and change communities. Yes. So that's what the Miss Uganda Foundation does. The second part of the question was how we bring the girls together after they become Miss Uganda. Is that the question?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So what happens, we have the Academy of Queens. The Academy of Queens is still under the Miss Uganda Foundation. So each queen representing her specific year, because we started in 2011.
Yes.
So the firstborn is Sylvia Namutebi, 2011. And the lastborn for now is Hannah Karema, 2023-2024.
Yes.
So each of the queens from 2011 up to 2023 has a signature project that they run in the communities. I will just go a little bit over the projects, but what brings the queens together is service to the community and also representing Uganda at various levels.
Yes.
Representing Miss Uganda in the communities, even when they are no longer the reigning queen. So really what matters is the community spirit.
Yes.
Wanting people's lives to get better, wanting children to go to school. So the projects range from education to water, to food, to climate conservation. So there's an array of projects that we run. And that's what brings them together.
And the reason I asked this question, Janet and Hannah, and by the way, when I met you at the work, I told you my mother's name is Janet.
Yeah, I'm your mother.
You're too young to be my mother, Janet, but
By default, you know.
but the name is a blessed name. Janet Museveni, Janet Kagame, Janet Kaguri, Janet Naruja. Look at that. Hannah, you should
Yeah.
be named Janet too. But the reason I asked
I'm
this
calling
question,
my kid Janet.
there you go. Janet, the first one is Janet, the second one is Jackson.
Right.
Okay.
The reason I asked this question in all seriousness, I am doing a program at Harvard University.
Yes.
This program brings many people in our cohort, in our group. It is 48 people. 54% of those 48 people are women, just like two of you. Each of these 48 people are doing a project around the world called the Social Impact Project. To get in this program, you have to propose. So for my cohort at Harvard University 2023, this plug is for you. Here we have Miss Uganda Foundation that has queendom, queens who are advocating for different social impact programs within Uganda and around the world. And you can find climate change, find education, find anything you can. Please contact Miss Uganda Foundation. Thank you, darling. See, my daughter brought me food. Want to say hello?
Oh.
This is one of the twin cars, Tessa.
Hi.
That's Miss Uganda. That's Janet, who is the project director for Miss Uganda Foundation.
Nice to meet you. I'm blurred.
Nice
Great
to meet you too.
Okay, thank you. So these projects can range to anything, and that's why I'm making this proud. So if there is anything they can do, and you also, I can send you a link to look through the list. That way, if you can connect with somebody. One thing I pride myself over the years of doing work around the world is to connect people so we can make a bigger difference in this world. The reason I mentored Humphrey as a high school student to now running Reach a Hand is so he can reach where I cannot reach. Earlier, I asked Hannah what platforms she's using, including these ones. We want to reach as many people and make a difference around the world. So to all the queens, and I will make sure Camila Barungi in New York, who you know, Janet,
Yes.
also gets to see this and can connect in. I will also make sure our runners, we have 22 runners who are running a New York Marathon this year, all of them running for Nyaka, but to also see that there is a connection they can make with all of you. So you mentor these people, Janet. You make sure they are connected. Tell the world what Miss Uganda Foundation is looking for and how they can help you.
All right. What Miss Uganda Foundation does is to transform lives.
Yes.
Like we have a saying in Africa that it takes a village to raise a child, just one child.
Yes.
So it takes the whole world just to.
I ask every visitor this question. What advice would you give yourself at a young age? You are young, but at a young age, what advice would you have given yourself?
At a young age, it's like maybe 7 years old.
10, 12 years. Since for you are, how old are you? 16, 17?
I'm 16. Okay.
So give advice to 12-year-old.
You know, at that age is when you know nothing at all. You don't know what you're going to become. Where life takes you is where you be, is where you go, you know. But you know me, I grew up as a girl who a lot listened to my father so much that even if I would go to fetch water, I would be like, Daddy, do you think I should go now or I wait and go later? So for me, it was always about my dad to do anything that I wanted to do. Yeah. And when I was growing up, my dad always told me, pray. Sometimes I did not know what to pray. I did not know what to ask God. But just because my dad used to tell me, you pray to God. All the time I would pray to God. I don't remember what I used to pray, but all I know is that I used to pray. And you know, for me being here, I think it was God's plan. Sometimes we don't know what we are doing, but at least I knew praying was a good thing for me, and I maintained it at every cost. I would pray every morning. When I wake up, I would pray every night when I'm going to sleep. And I feel like that has helped me a lot. And me being here, I think it's God's position being here. And maybe one more other thing is to always, the advice I would still give my young self is to, be disciplined, to be a disciplined girl.
Very
Sometimes when you're disciplined, you get a lot of things that you don't know how you've gotten them. When you're disciplined and you meet a person, they'll be like, oh, this girl is good, she'll be successful. Sometimes I don't think people really care about what other people say to them, but what someone says to you really matters a lot. Someone might say, you're going to fail in life because of what you've done. And it follows you for the rest of your life.
That's right.
And for me, I think being disciplined, it helped me a lot, because everyone I would meet, they would be like, this girl is going to be a good person. This girl is going to excel. This girl is going to get what she wants. And me, I think really being here, I'm not so bright, I'm not so beautiful or what, but I think it's what people portrayed me. People saw me, maybe people saw what I would be by, speaking things to me.
Perfect. So you encourage young people to pray and be disciplined. And those are two important lessons in life. Thank you for sharing those. Janet is back. Janet, while you are gone, I said to Hannah that another thing we need to start advocating for is bridging the gap on digital divide. We need the next queen to really advocate for technology, so we have the same bandwidth, so we have the same opportunity. Like I told her, I can be on Zoom for 12 hours. My electricity in my house in the USA has never been off, but electricity gets off. 20 years in a house and electricity has never been off. I come to Kanungu. I asked my daughter the other day that, what are things you remember about being in a village in our home? Oh, electricity went off every day at the same time.
So it's every day.
Yeah, she had all good things, praying with the cows, running with grandpa, drinking milk, natural food. And she said, but the electricity went off every day at the same time. Oh, man, shame on you. Janet, you are telling us what you want the world to know, how to support. And when I looked at your name, it said Janet Preacher. So when we finish telling us what the world can help you, I will ask you to say a prayer. Since Hannah has said prayer is big in her life and is big in my life too, I found out like 4 things. Hannah is the last born, I'm the last born. She's a village girl and a village boy. What was the other one? She loves to read. I write books and love to read. We are all advocating for education, girls' education, and early childhood. Match made in heaven. So, Miss Preacher, tell about how they can help Miss Uganda, and then say a prayer, and we will conclude this conversation.
Okay. Now, the only thing that brings us together is I love being around people advocating for things that bring about change, like education. Education will bring about change in so many spheres of life in Uganda. But I don't come from the village. So let me go straight to how Miss Uganda would like to be supported.
Yes.
So Miss Uganda is running several projects. There is the Clean Water Project, where we offer water to people in various places that don't have access to clean water, because that's one of the causes of disease, lack of clean water. We dig wells for people. Then we also advocate for education. And under this, we have the project where we advocate for menstrual health and hygiene, we advocate for better services and knowledge about menstruation and everything about it. Then we also have a project that is to do with sexual and reproductive health.
That's right.
Because many young girls are getting pregnant because they don't know, they are ignorant about their body changes and what happens when, you know, you engage in early sexual activity. So we try and give them access to knowledge. Then we also have the Power a Home. You talked about the digital divide and also lack of electricity in some places in Uganda. So in trying to address that, we look at solar power or renewable energies as one of the solutions to the power blackouts and lack of power in some areas. Then I also want to mention the skilling project, where we skill young girls and the youth. We give them tailoring skills, hairdressing, wig making, cooking. So these skills help them survive even when they don't have higher education. So they can survive in any area. And that really caters to our teen mothers, those who have gotten pregnant while in school.
Yes.
So looking at all that, we need partners to support us with advocacy, of course. There is that. If you have an amplified voice like today, this platform is not small. This is a huge platform. So we really appreciate that. We need people like you to join our advocacy. Then we also need financial support, because it takes money to do some of these things, like moving to remote areas and also giving these skills. These skills are free, but the delivery of the service is not free.
That's right.
Yeah. So the other thing where we need support is every Miss Uganda goes to Miss World.
Okay.
And Hannah will be going to Miss World this November in India.
All right.
But there is a category, there are two categories that I'd like to interest everybody on this platform with. There is the category of the multimedia queen. This is the queen that can be made to win by the whole world if we vote for her, if we support her projects just by liking the photos and the videos and sharing them. So that's an easy one to win.
Yes.
If the whole world rallies behind Hannah. Then the second one is the Beauty with the Purpose. And that is the social project she presents to Miss World that the world can support here in Uganda. And for her, it is something I know that is close to your heart, that is promoting education and kicking out early marriages, not only in Uganda, but in the whole world. Yeah.
Wonderful. I see some future Miss Ugandans in the back. They need to say hello and wave if they can.
Zara, come and say hi.
Just say hello, please. The world needs to see the
I can't see you. Come closer.
The future change maker.
Say your name.
Hi.
My name is Sarah.
All right. And you are coming from school?
Yes.
Hey, I love education. I'm going to send you a book
Yay!
about a child that is going to school called Sitwe Goes to School. Dr. Kaguri here writes books, 5 children books, and 1 is going to come to you.
Wow.
Okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. This brings us to the end, ladies and gentlemen, to this conversation. Miss Uganda, hold that sign up so people can see it. The reigning Miss Uganda.
The sash. Oh,
The sash.
wow.
2023, 2024. To be involved in everything Miss Uganda Foundation, you have Janet, the preacher, and to close us out, she's going to say a short prayer. Thank you. God bless you. May your voices reach the global world and change so many lives now and always. Thank you for joining us.
Let us pray. Our Heavenly Father, we want to thank you for today. We thank you for the gift of friendship. We thank you because we are living in a global village. We thank you for Jackson and the lives that he's transforming through the podcast, but also through the projects that he's running. Lord God, we thank you for Miss Uganda. We thank you because she is going far. She's achieving much more. She's adding her voice to the education advocacy. We thank you because this year, 2023, 2024, education is going to rise higher, not only in Uganda, but also in Africa. Bless us, bless our families, bless our projects, bless every life in Jesus' mighty name. Amen and amen.
Please share, subscribe, make this 1 million viewers right here because it's going to make a difference.